girls. I hope you guys are having a sick ass Tuesday. I killed my shit in the morning, back delts, the whole entire workout. You know what's up. All right, so today we're gonna talk about how to grow those skinny arms, those noodle arms. All right, and I'm also gonna talk about some of the funny things that like I experienced growing up. Just being ashamed of having like skinny arms, right? Because for those of you guys and girls that don't know, like I grew up skinny, right? I grew up real skinny, and that was something that used to like piss me off. What's up, homie? Right? It used to piss me off, and of course I've changed that. But I'm also gonna, tell you guys a bit about my perspective in the past, how it's changed. Also, some of the tips and tricks that I've used to help me actually grow my arms. Okay, but without wasting any time, I'm gonna invite some folks over here on Insta and on Facebook and on TikTok and on Twitter, YouTube. You guys come as you want because I'm not gonna invite anybody there. It's quite a bit. And I'm also going to pin the chat here so we know what we're talking about on Insta. Let me know how your day is going when you hop up in the chat. Mark, what's good? Homie, what's good? I see you. I see you guys. I see you. All right. Just going to send some invites over here. Just give me 30 seconds, then we'll get right on into it. All right. Let's go. Oh, man. Okay. Yeah. All right. Homie's on his way to do back and legs. Dope. It's a wicked split. I used to do that split back then. What's happening? Got some people on Facebook coming in. All right, let's talk about it, guys and girls. First of all, let me walk through this. Nice and slow motion so you guys and girls can get like a real perspective as to like where I'm coming from here. Because I'll be honest with you, it used to suck having skinny arms. All right, just give me a sec. I'm gonna sip some water. Our shot was good. And that's gonna be a tip for later too, if you don't know. Anyway, so back then, when I was younger, before I started really like lifting seriously, I was like an athlete. I was still an athlete. I was doing my freestyle wrestling. I was doing my football. I was an athlete. I did track here and there, like I was an athlete. But there was one thing I've always wanted to do ever since I was a kid, and I don't know if you guys can relate. I don't even know if the girls can relate. I know the guys can most likely relate. But going back to it, if you ever watched WWE, WWF back at the time, whatever, there were like a couple of people that you looked at and looked up to that had these like big ass fucking arms that you wanted, right? So like I would always look at those guys and be like, holy shit, like John Cena, like The Rock, like Triple H, like yo, you guys are jacked as fuck. I want arms like that. I want to be like pretty big when I grow up. I want to get muscular. Like I was an athlete my whole life, but I always wanted to be muscular, right? So growing up, I had skinny arms. I was a skinny kid. That's just what it was. Okay, like that was just my fucking reality. I grew up skinny. All right, and I was performing well in the sports that I was, taking part in, but personally, man, I wasn't 100% satisfied with my physique. I wasn't even 10% satisfied. Like I was so dissatisfied that when I would go to like school and I had my backpack on, I'd get my shirt, I'd like fold it and tuck it into my fucking. Let me know if you guys ever did this shit before. I'm just embarrassing myself here, but I used to tuck in my fucking sleeves and like, tuck it under my backpack strap so my arms could look bigger. If you guys ever did that, let me know in the comments. I'm not gonna laugh at you. If you still do it, I'm not gonna laugh at you because I used to do it myself. All right, and that's for TikTok because TikTok wanted to see a bicep. But anyway, so that was my reality, guys and girls. Like I really didn't like the way I looked. And I'm not really, bringing light to that in a funny way. I'm just saying like that was my reality and that's what I went through. Right. Of course, it's changed now. Of course, I'm pretty jacked now, or at least so I like to think. But that was my reality. Okay, so we're gonna be talking about some of the things that I did to go from that kid who had like fucking 9-inch arms, skinny arms, to me now, where I think on a pump I have like 18 and a half, 18 and a quarter inch arms naturally. Okay, so you can definitely build your muscle, build your arms up naturally without having to take any like sort of compound, like steroid or whatever, just to keep it 100% honest with you guys. All right, so let's focus on that. Let's talk about that. All right. Number one, the very first thing that I did in order to get my arms to start growing was I stopped training it like it was a big muscle group. Okay, so what do I mean by that? Well, let's really look at it. When we talk about our chest, our back, our legs, we typically tend to go for a really, really heavy weight and a fair amount of reps, nothing really more than 10 or 12 even. Okay, but extremely heavy. Like that's the way that I was taught to train compound, using compound exercises to, train my bigger muscle groups was honestly heavyweight, medium to low reps. 6 to 8 to 10 reps. Okay, and that was the range of reps I was training at by using an extremely heavy weight at all times. Okay, and that honestly, guys and girls, was honestly, I'm grateful because it was a learning curve, but it was one of the most fucking stupid things I could have done at the beginning of my journey, simply because it doesn't work like that. Like it does not work like that. Like to grow your arms, to grow any small or lagging muscle group. Again, arms are a very small muscle group. The bicep and the tricep, they're very small in comparison to everything else. So you can't train them the way you would train your chest. You can't train them the way you would train your back. You cannot train them the way you would train your legs, right? So me not knowing that, I would try to train them as if it was like chest. So I go for as heavy as I possibly can for as many reps as I possibly could, but the rep ranges, really weren't high, to be honest with you. Okay, so what changed? The first thing that I realized that I had to do in order to actually grow muscle in my arms and get them bigger was, number one, extreme hypertrophy. Like, understanding that I couldn't train it like my chest, that only hit me after, I think, 3 to 4 months of trying to curl fucking 70 pounds, 50 pounds. At the time, 50 pounds was really heavy for me, and I couldn't curl that in a dumbbell. So I tried to curl that for like 6 reps each arm, and, I thought that was going to do something for me. It got a little bit of a pump, but it did that 50 pounds per hand that I tried to do back then when I was like 15, 14, compared to now is way different, because back then I can only do 6 reps. Now with 50 pounds, I can do 20 reps each arm. The whole point is you want to use a lighter weight that you can use to target that and isolate that specific muscle group so that you can get a better contraction, a full range of motion, and increase the volume by doing more reps and more sets. All right, guys and girls? And just to let you know, when you do join, let me know how your day is going. Drop comments or questions. I will get to them after the live stream, like when I'm done giving you guys and girls the nuggets, all right? So I see you guys all, and I'm really grateful for you guys and girls joining. Just drop some comments. Let me know how your day is going, or drop some questions if you have any. All right, so moving back to the point. Number one, extreme hypertrophy. Pick a lighter weight and do anything between 15 to 20 reps for 5 or more sets, right? And work on your ability to contract as you progress, right? And that actually takes us into step number 2, your range of motion. Okay, one thing that sucked for me, as I said with in the beginning of my journey when I was trying to grow my arms, was my lack of range of motion, simply because I was using weight that was too heavy. As I talked about, I try to train my arms like I would train any other big, large muscle group in my body. Okay, and that's not the way you do it. Any small muscle group, as I said earlier, any lagging muscle group, as I said earlier, needs to be trained in a different fashion where the volume is extremely high, okay? And you're paying attention to detail when it comes to the form, your range of motion, all right? So number 2 is range of motion. How far can I stretch the bicep? How far, and how much can I contract the bicep while controlling the weight and incorporating high volume, incorporating a lot of sets. As I said, 5 or more sets, 15 to 20 reps. Okay, now based off of that, I will pick the weight that I'm going to use. If I can't fucking, curl it to the top and control it all the way down on the negative and then curl it back up again without shaking my body and using other muscle groups to lift it up, then I know the weight's too heavy. Okay, so what I did was I would drop the weight, keep the reps between 15 and 20, and increase the sets. So instead of doing 4 sets for arms, I ended up doing 7 sets. And on days that I really had time, 10 sets. But of course, I would do a drop set as I go down, right? So step number 1, guys and girls, you cannot train a weak or lagging muscle group or a small muscle group the way that you would train a big or large, strong muscle group like your chest, your legs, your back. Your arms and your shoulders will be trained differently than your chest, your back, and your legs. You cannot apply the same metric when it comes to extremely heavy weight for a fair amount of reps. You've got to do medium to lightweight for a ridiculous amount of reps and a ridiculous amount of sets. Okay, and that's what's worked for me and helped get my arms from fucking like them skinny ass noodles, the noodle 9s I'm calling them, noodle 9 inches arms, to now when I'm pumped up, I'm a cool like 18 and a quarter, 18 and a half, naturally, guys and girls, naturally. Okay, naturally. And that takes us into our last point, point number 3, Okay, point number 3, TikTok, which is we know, okay, I'm just going to recap it. We know we have to train in a different fashion than our big muscle groups. We also know we have to incorporate a mindset sort of connection, mind muscle connection, to the muscle and incorporate a good range of motion to contract the muscles for triceps, for your biceps. And the last thing, but not least, is actually not related to the way you're training, but the way that you're eating. Okay? Like, I'm not going to sit here and tell you to go into a caloric surplus. Okay? A caloric surplus is something you could use it, but personally, I wouldn't recommend it simply because it's not sustainable to put yourself in a position for most people that are not bodybuilders to put themselves in a position where they're eating a ridiculous amount of calories each and every single day, and then they gain a lot of fat and water that they have to cut anyway, and that just makes it stressful because then when you switch onto the diet, you know, when you're cutting a lot, it fucks with your mind because you're barely eating and your energy levels are all messed up, your insulin levels are all messed up, all that, right? So the last thing is nutrition. How much protein are you actually intaking? Okay, how much protein are you actually intaking? So the first one was understanding that you have to train, and this is just for the new people that just joined, understanding that you have to train your arms the way differently than you would train your chest, legs, or back, right? So you got to train it differently. You got to incorporate high reps, high volume, high sets. Second one, range of motion, how much you can contract, okay? How much you can control the weight, right? So if you cannot, bring the weight from point A to point B and point A again controlling the negative and the positive, eccentric and eccentric portions of the motion, then the weight's too heavy and you got to drop the weight. And you drop it to a weight where it's just challenging enough for you to do 15 to 20 reps, 5 or more sets, but not compromise your form by swinging. Okay? That's 2. Number 3, guys and girls, is I'm not going to say to go to, for you guys and girls to go into a caloric surplus, although it would help. Like, technically, yes, you will grow in a caloric surplus. I'm going to ask you, how much protein are you intaking? Because let's face it, muscle is built like by your protein intake. Okay? In conjunction to your intensity levels in the gym, when you're training, the rest time that you get in between sets, the amount of protein is what's going to actually build those muscle fibers for you. All right, so if you're not eating an adequate amount of protein, and again, I would recommend no less than 1 gram per pound of body weight. So if you weigh 180 pounds, you eat 180 grams. If you weigh 240 pounds, you eat 240 grams as a bare minimum to be able to grow your arms. Okay, so number 1, high reps, high sets, medium to light weight. Number 2, control the shit out of the weight on the way up and on the way down. And if you can't do that, you got to drop the weight, but still challenge yourself. Don't make it easy. And number 3, make sure you're getting a bare minimum, an absolute bare minimum of 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. If you're 166, you can eat 166 grams of protein, but as I said, a bare minimum, right? So anything more than that is good. Honestly, the more the merrier. Okay, there is a certain point where it caps off, and it doesn't matter. I believe it's 1.75 or 2 grams per pound. Anything more than that is like extremely excessive. But I would say 1 to 1.5 grams per pound of body weight is fucking essential. Otherwise, you'll do all that work and you'll barely grow. If you're lucky, you'll barely grow. But it does take protein for you to actually grow. Okay, you can definitely incorporate supplements, but we're not going to make this live stream super confusing today. Because if I really had to put a supplement out there, just to say it now, it would be creatine. Because of biovolumization, it has that effect. Okay, where it actually enlarges the muscle by retaining the water in there. Anyway, we're not talking about that today. Number 1, okay, lightweight, medium weight, whatever you want to do, whatever's challenging for you, lots of reps. Number 2, control that fucking weight on the way up, on the way down, and on the way up again. Okay, and if you can't do that, drop the weight. Number 3, 1 gram per pound bare minimum of protein in order to grow your muscles and, of course, your arms. All right, guys and girls? So that's it. That's all. Those are the 3 tips I want to give you on how to actually grow those skinny-ass motherfucking noodle 9s, the 9-inch arms. If you want to actually grow them fucking shits, listen to those 3 tips, apply those 3 tips, because I had to do it myself being a skinny kid growing up. All right, so now I'm going to check out some of the comments and some of the things that, some of the comments, some of the questions, and just things in your day that you guys and girls on all platforms are letting me know. All right, so I'm going to start off with TikTok over here. And again, as I read, don't hesitate. You can definitely still throw some questions and comments down there. I will only be on for another 2 minutes, so please be mindful of that. I've got a call after this live stream, and yeah. All right, so homie says, bro, help. All right, bro, shoot me a DM. I'll get back to you. All right. Homie says, can you flex your bicep for me? I already did that for you. Personified Dumpster Fire says, I got huge biceps lifting chicken McNuggets up to my mouth 100 times per day. If that's a weight you can control, it's a weight you can control, man. These are fucking trolls. You guys are funny. And then homie says, Chief Keef 004 or 04, get waves. Good for you. Whatever. I'm not going to get waves. Do you, man. Do your thing. Thanks for joining, though. I really do appreciate you guys' presence, and I appreciate you for actually dropping a comment, even though it's funny, stupid, or whatever the fuck. I appreciate your energy because it's positive. You feel me? Now we're going to look at some Instagram. What's Instagram saying today? First of all, I'm going to salute everybody that joined. Mark, yo, homie, yo, you guys are out here. Archdot, Dimitri, Dominic, Just Lutz, Bianca, she's in the house. What's up, girl? Jason, MC4 and 6, Haki, Sani. Hey, we got a house full today. Shub, David, Onati, what's up, gang? Follow Onati. You guys don't know about them. I'm telling you about them now. Follow them. Good guys. Bianca says, my day is going good. How's your day going? My day is going amazing. I already trained earlier today, eating my meals, on schedule, doing my live stream for you guys and girls on all platforms, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube, of course. And I'm just feeling good. We're aligned today. I'm really living in alignment today. Joshua, thanks for joining. 111, thanks for joining. Aziz, yo, Branton, let's go. Be mellow in the house. Yes, Tatu, what's up? Okay, Bianca also says, I was wondering when nutrition was going to have its time in this conversation. I mean, you don't change your body unless, as they say, 90% of the game, most people say 70. I argue to say it's 90% of the game is nutrition, and then the 10% is the way you train. Okay, and definitely came through. That's tip number 3, 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. Okay, she says that's true, but like you said before, you have to be working those muscles in order to, for the protein to work. Too much of it can hurt your kidneys, at least. I think that's what you said. Yeah, it does do that. Too much protein can hurt your kidneys. Again, that's like madly excessive, like over 2 grams per pound of body weight. I personally wouldn't recommend anyone doing that, especially if you have a genetic predisposition where accumulating a lot of protein in your diet can, off-put your kidneys and set you up for other diseases. I had a friend that did have a disease, or he had a genetic deformity, which was brought out by him eating too much fucking chicken. And he wasn't even a bodybuilder. Okay, and he had a kidney issue. So it's awesome he brought that up, which is why I said bare minimum 1 gram per pound. That's not too much. Okay, anything more than that, of course, you're playing in dangerous water or more dangerous water, but protein itself isn't that dangerous. It's not dangerous at all unless you're like fucking eating like say 3 times the amount, like 3 grams per pound of body weight. That's not good. Like your body won't even absorb that and digest all of the protein, right? And then the rest of it will go into your bloodstream, and that's not good. All right. So, homie says, yeah, no more noodle 9s. You feel me? No more noodle 9s, baby. We're going them arms today. Humber West Parkway in the house. What's up? I fuck with you. Bianca says, I remember something in the weight room class saying that heavy weight with few reps can build strength, low weight with more reps build muscular endurance. And yes, muscular endurance. In that process of building muscular endurance, you tear more muscle fibers, in my opinion. And that's why you get a lot more detail when you train in higher reps. And that's for the bigger muscle groups, get more detail. But if you train with higher reps and more volume with a lagging or small muscle group, it has both effects of building strength, building endurance, of course, because it's endurance style training, and the detail, right? Which is why when arms get big, usually they get shredded unless the person's fat. Forgive me for saying that. All right, so yes, that's a really good point you said there, Bianca. Homie says, add me. Shoot, we're already 2 minutes past the time. Let me go tell this motherfucker though. All right, you can bring some people on to the IG live over here. I'll stick around for 5 minutes. I'll just run through the tips again. That's what's up. All right. DeAndre, Adam, I see you on Facebook. Thank you for joining. We are here, bro. You know what's up. Get that workout in. Kill that workout, dog. You know what's up. Bianca says, but like you said, if you use the low to medium weight with high reps, it does give you the freedom to perfect and improve on the form. Exactly, right? Control, right? Mind over matter, literally. You want to have that mind-muscle connection and be able to control the weight. Okay, Ofasi, what's up? Appreciate you. Thank you for joining, man. And Bianca also says heavyweight can weigh you down and cause your form to break down, and you'll do things that won't help or hurt you, or won't help or will hurt you. Yeah. So heavyweights, especially with small muscle groups that should not be trained like big muscle groups, using heavyweight can put you at risk for injury. All right, that's one thing you want to keep in mind. All right. Cool. The muscle mechanics. What's up, Tristan? What's happening? Priya, what's good? Javi, I appreciate you. Thank you so much, guys and girls. So goddamn much. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's live stream. We will be back again tomorrow. YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Okay, so got any questions for the future? Let me know. I'll hook you up. I'll give you some free advice because what the fuck? Like, that's what I'm on here for. I like supporting you guys and girls. I genuinely do. I'm serving my purpose when I do so. So I hope you guys and girls have a fucking awesome, wonderful rest of your day. All right? I really do. I honestly do. And if someone's trying to fuck with you, let them know. Honestly, they can't fuck with you because you're doing everything right. Okay, if you're here watching this right now, you're doing everything right. Tristan's like, on my way to the gym, fam, listening while I drive. Again, we're tuning out, so you're going to have to watch the replay, brother. You're going to have to watch the replay. All right? And one last thing Bianca says is, what did she say? She's like, I know that everyone wants those big biceps, and you can get them, but not the way you get big legs. I love that you said that. I'm going to repeat that again. So Bianca says, I know that everyone wants those big biceps, and you can get them, but not the way you get the big legs, right? So you got to train them completely differently. And again, let me just wrap it up one time for you guys and girls. Step number one, you cannot train weak or lagging muscle groups, smaller muscle groups, the way you would train large muscle groups like your chest, your back, your legs. You've got to apply the high rep, medium, lightweight methodology, which means 15 to 20 reps, 5 or more sets. Number two, focus on attention to detail with your range of motion, eccentric and the eccentric portion, so the release and the contraction. How much control do you have over that? Okay, guys and girls, and if you don't have much control, it's a sign to drop the weight to a point where you have just enough control, but it's just as challenging for you. Number three, no less than 1 gram per pound of protein in order for you to actually grow, okay, because protein builds muscle. All right, so those are the 3 tips for you guys and girls today. Thank you so much for joining. Malik, thank you for joining. Bianca also says, I think that's what causes people to try things like heavyweights and then fucking they do tear their arms. Ethan, hey, we're leaving right now, so you can check the replay on Insta or Facebook or Twitter if you like. You can follow me on either or. Hit me up on the bio. Baby Bank, thank you for the heart on TikTok. I appreciate you. Malik, I want legs like you. Bro, there's a way. There's a way. All right, there's a way. Hit me up on the DMs, and I'm going to help you out. All right, so that's it. That's all, guys and girls. I'll be back tomorrow. We out. Later, Instagram. Later, everybody. I'm just going to say later, everybody.
All right, we're live. We're live, guys and girls. Peace. I hope you guys are having a sick-ass Tuesday. Killed my shit in the morning. Woo! Delts the whole entire workout. You know what's up. Yeah. All right, so today we're going to talk about how to grow those skinny arms.